Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates, coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We want to welcome everybody to our show tonight. We're going to start off this show with the singing of the United States National Anthem. And at this point in time, I would ask everybody to please rise.
The National Weather Service has issued a special weather statement.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now would you make welcome straight from Washington, D.C., the United States Army Corps Quartet.
Yeah.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Oh yeah! Come on, folks, let them know it.
America's finest, the United States Army Barbershop Quartet, performing at the Barbershop Quartet Convention 2015. The host of the Barbershop Quartet Convention gave us the Pledge of Allegiance. We appreciate these men for doing this for us. We appreciate the authority we have to do this and broadcast them here on this channel. I also want to thank all of our military members, wherever they might be, during this Christmas season. Though they may be away from their families, they're still serving our country and serving their families as well. I want to thank all of our military, wherever they might be, here in the United States or worldwide. I also want to thank our allied military forces, those countries that support this country of the United States in doing the plain policeman for the world, keeping the world safe. I want to thank all of you, no matter where you might live, no matter where you are serving. May God bless you. May God protect you. May God bring all of our servicemen home after their tours of duty end, safe. God be with you all. We appreciate your service. Thank you for your service, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. Now, folks, we have a lot of things I need to talk about. Sweet Polly Purebred, during our beginning of our show here, talked about Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency for the bird flu in California. There is no bird flu. Gavin Newsom is purporting to have a state of emergency so he can quarantine you, so he can limit your travels, so he can make sure you're in your house under lockdown. Those people in the state of California, I'm telling you right now, you need to stand up against this stupid governor. You need to hold him responsible for what he's doing and what he has already done. He has bankrupt your state. He has bankrupt all of you. Yes, you all may have not declared bankruptcy yourself, but he is draining you dry. That man has no scruples. No other part of this country or any other part of the world has declared a state of emergency for the bird flu, and California Governor Newsom is a lying sack of crap. I'm trying to be nice. He's a lying sack of crap. I hate Newsom. Those of you that have known me know I hate Newsom. I've hated him since I ever heard his name. He's a sack of crap. He's a billionaire, or nearly a billionaire. He doesn't receive much more than $175,000 a year for his services as governor, and yet he's taking all this money in to make himself a multimillionaire. What a bunch of crap. Your governor is a piece of crap, and you all need to hold him responsible. You need to call your state legislators, even though they might be Democrats. You need to call your state legislatures. You need to call your judges in your state and have this man arrested and brought before justice. He's a sick of crap. Unreal. Juby Joe says Louisiana has alleged a case of this. I don't know. I have not heard about Louisiana. But no other state has declared a state of emergency. And this is what I'm saying now. If it's in California, it's everywhere. And right now, that's not the case. Okay? Now, while I'm saying that, okay? Now I've said that. Other states may come up and say, we're declaring a state of emergency ahead of time, even though we have no bird flu in our state. I don't buy it. I don't buy it one lick. This is the Christmas season. The government has no business calling for a state of emergency to lock us down. That's what they wanted to do. And honestly, there's something else you all ought to know about. Okay? Let me play this short clip from President Trump from the other day. You need to hear this. I'm sorry, guys, just a second. Just a second, I'm going to have to bring this back. I can't believe this. I should have known this was going to happen. I hate to have dead air here. Okay, let me put this back up here.
For some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy because it was the enemy that blasted.
A large number of mystery drones have been reported flying over New Jersey and the East Coast in recent weeks, and people are speculating about who sent them and why. New Jersey's Governor Phil Murphy wrote to President Joe Biden asking for answers, and a New Jersey congressman urged the Pentagon to authorize the use of force to bring down one or more drones to figure out who deployed them.
Upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
According to a local official, the reported drones have been up to 6 feet in diameter and sometimes travel with their lights switched off. This is larger than what is typically flown by drone hobbyists.
You can see they're very large. They're not the size of a commercial airliner, but they're the size of a vehicle.
They don't know what they are, and they're not foreign, but they're not ours, and they don't pose a threat. That's when it becomes concerning.
For some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy because it was the enemy that blasted.
A large number of mystery drones have been reported flying over New Jersey and the East Coast in recent weeks, and people are speculating.
Okay? President Drone said at that point in time that if those drones were real, they'd be blasted down. They'd been taken out of the air. Those drones are real, but those drones are not the evil ones, the people from out of this country. Our government is doing this. President Biden knows about this, and so does our military. If our military thought there was a threat, these drones would have been blasted out of the air already. The military knows about it, the President of the United States knows about it, but he's not doing a damn thing about it. Not one thing. Now, our government is evil. Our government's one of the most evil governments we've ever had. Plain and simple. One of the most evil governments we've ever had. And it continues. Let me play you this clip here out of Vista, California. This man you see here on your screen is a father of students at Rancho High School in San Diego. Let me play this video for you. You're going to be blown away by what you see. Or what you hear, I should say.
Into my daughter's classroom. I'm going to read the assignment. I do have a picture, but that's neither here nor there. It says, stand in a circle. Each of you is now gay or lesbian, and you're about to begin your coming out process. You cannot talk for the rest of this activity. I don't see how this is part of the California curriculum for education. There's nothing that it does other than groom children. It's not okay, it's disgusting, and it should not be allowed. I was told by the vice principal of Rancho the first time I called that it was not part of the curriculum. I then emailed Dr. Aveyah. He emailed me back saying, oh no, this is definitely part of the curriculum, this specific activity. Then he had one of his other vice principals call me to confirm that it was really part of this curriculum. I have tried to get into contact with Dr. Aveyah on the phone about 7 times, 8 times, and just failed every single time. He has not reached out to me himself personally, other than the first email contact that we had. I've reached out to Dr. Matt Doyle. I do understand that we will be having a meeting between January 6th and the 13th, I believe. So there is that. I don't think that this assignment should ever be taught. Well, thank you guys for having me.
Okay, this is at Rancho High School in Vista, California. There are 2 high schools in Vista, California. One is Vista High School, where my own children went, and one is Rancho High School on the outskirts of Vista. Now, what is happening here? If it's happening here at Rancho, it's happening at Vista and every other high school and school around California. They're trying to groom our kids. The teacher's assignment was to get in a circle and pretend you're gay and lesbian. And while you're in a circle, you cannot talk to each other. What a bunch of crap. You can't say anything. And yet, the vice principal said it was okay, that it was part of the curriculum of the state of California. It's not okay. It's not okay to groom our students. My children went to school in Vista. My son has our grandchildren, his children, in Vista, California schools. It's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of crap. If this is happening in your schools, in your cities and states and towns, you need to rebel. You need to stand up and be counted. This is illegal. This is illegal sexual grooming. It should not be tolerated. It's teaching our children to be gay or lesbian. I'm sorry, that's not right. It's illegal. And we need to stand up, and my children over there need to stand up as well. And I'm going to raise all kinds of hell over in Vista, California this next week, after Christmas. Right now the schools are out. But I'll tell you this, when schools go back into session, it won't go back into session until about January 2nd, but the school district is going to find out about it. And I'm not going to be kind at all. I will not be kind at all. It shall not be tolerated. Shall not be tolerated. I'm not going to put up with it. Never. Never. I'm mad. If you guys can't tell, I am furious. Anyway, I am tired of our children being molested and taken advantage of. I'm tired of our children being trafficked. And that's what's going on. Over 500,000 children this year have been trafficked within our own country. Unreal. They want to make it legal to molest our children. Absolutely no son of a bitch way. Sorry, I'm mad. I'm furious. This should never be tolerated ever. Period. Dr. Jamin says, have this current school board fired. That's where I'm going to go for. That's where I'm going to go for. I don't give a flying rat's butt about them wanting it done. It's against our principles. It's against moral equity, moral ethics, and I'm not going to tolerate it. Yes, I'm a grandparent, but I'm not going to put up with it. It's unreal. It's unreal. And as for the drones, Mr. John Kirby, that you heard at the beginning of that lecture here, Mr. John Kirby, who's a Pentagon spokesman who used to be a rear admiral in the Navy, is lying to the public. Oh, there's no danger. Nothing's going on. Don't do anything, it's okay. No, it's not. It's not okay. Now, it's not just over New Jersey and New York. It's not just over Virginia. It's not just over North Carolina and South Carolina and Georgia or Florida. It's also over Atlanta. It's over Atlanta. It's over Alabama. It's in California. They're expanding it. They're expanding it. Now, there is a school of thought, and it makes a lot of sense, and I showed you that radiation map the other day showing 4 points, 3 in New Jersey and 2 in eastern New York and 1 in New Jersey, showing high levels of radiation. Now they're searching everywhere. Yes, there's a loose nuke. There's at least one loose nuke, possibly as many as 80. Okay? That's a responsibility of our government. As I said, back during the Cold War, at the end of the Cold War, when President Reagan took down the Berlin Wall in Germany, there was nukes over in Ukraine. Nuclear weapons in Ukraine. Russia put them there so they could spread out the ground map where the nukes were, so the United States wouldn't know exactly where they were. After the Berlin Wall came down, all of a sudden, Ukraine didn't want those weapons in their country. Russia couldn't control what Ukraine did. And now, because of Biden, yes, it comes back to Biden. Okay? Biden and Obama. We have those weapons in our own country. And now, you and I and everybody else in our country is up in arms. And they still haven't taken any responsibility for those drones. Again, the military knows what's going on, and the President of the United States also knows what's going on, and they refuse to talk about it. They refuse to talk about it. Wait till President Trump is sworn in on January 20th. And by the way, one of the reasons they're doing what they're doing, they're trying to prevent President Trump from getting sworn in. They're trying to prevent President Trump from being sworn in. That's the whole point in this. Okay? We cannot let this continue. This cannot continue. Patricia says Kirby needs to STHU, I'm not going to repeat it, and go vacuum a carpet, basically. Yeah, true. Now, Dr. James says Trump knows. He absolutely does. The other day during that news conference, that piece of news conference clip that you saw, he also told, when the reporter asked him about his briefing with the government and the military, he didn't say whether he was getting briefed or not. Of course he is. Number one, he's a former president. All former presidents are briefed. Number two, he's a president-elect. You can damn well better believe that he's getting briefed. President Trump knows what's going on. Biden and his people are going to go down in history as hellions. They're going to get their hands slapped big time. Many of them are going to go to jail. Okay? Now, Sweet Polly Purebred is saying Brian Gunderson mentioned that the radiation's coming from the sun during the polar shift. No, that has nothing to do with it. Okay? I'm sorry, Brian Gunderson, you're wrong. Yes, we are getting radiation from the sun every time we have a solar eruption. Every time we have a solar flare, there is plasma radiation coming from the sun. And when it comes from the sun, it goes like this. It envelopes the Earth like this. The Earth side facing the sun goes like this. The radiation goes up and around the Earth just like this. And other places on the Earth also get the radiation. Okay? Plasma radiation. And what happens when it goes through the magnetosphere and through our atmosphere? It goes right down to the ground. Right through us, right through the plants, right through all the animals around the globe. It goes into the ground. It goes all the way to the magma center of this Earth. Okay? As I've explained the earthquakes. Let me explain this one more time. When the plasma radiation hits the Earth, it heats up the plates. It heats up the core of the Earth. When it heats up the plates, it heats up the earthquake faults. All that biological material that holds the plates in place. Yes, there's friction that holds the plates and holds the faults in place. All that biological material, that gunk and grime, that sand and dirt and rock that holds the plates in place and holds the faults in place also gets turned into a greasy, oily-like substance. And when that happens, the plates and the faults more freely move. That's when we have the earthquakes. And that's exactly what's happening now. Okay? Charlene is saying earthquake, heat melts rock way down under, the glue liquefies, and it becomes a greasy, oily-like substance. Okay? The glue she's talking about is all the biological material. The sand, the rock, the dirt. The biological plant life that has died there it's turned into a greasy, oily-like substance. And when that happens, the plates more freely move, causing earthquakes. The faults more freely move, causing earthquakes. That's what's happening. That's why we had that major earthquake the night before last over in Vanuatu. And by the way, let's take a quick look at Vanuatu. Okay? This angers me, completely angers me, because the USBS is not showing much of anything when it comes to the earthquakes that are hitting over here in the, well, it's not hitting all around the earth. This is the only earthquake they're showing. This is the only earthquake they're showing, guys. Just here. Why? Why are they only showing this earthquake in Vanuatu? There's hundreds of earthquakes hitting Vanuatu, and they're showing one. This was a 7.4 earthquake. They downgraded to a 7.3. Aftershocks do not disappear like this. They don't disappear like this. There are hundreds of aftershocks here, and USBS and the other agencies that may have maps out showing just this earthquake are lying to the public. Hundreds of aftershocks are hitting this area here between the Solomon Islands and Vanuatu, and even over in Fiji. Hundreds of aftershocks. And yet, look what they're not showing. They're not showing any earthquakes in Tonga, none in Fiji, none in the Legacy Islands, none in the Solomon Islands, and not even over here in Papua New Guinea. That's a lie. This is an out-and-out lie, folks. It's a lie. And how they think they can get away with it, I don't know. Okay? It's unreal what they're lying about. And one of these days, when people continue to die and people look into it, USBS is going to get sued off its butt. Meaning the United States government is going to have a real hard time controlling what's going on, because they're going to get sued off their butt. It's unfortunate what goes on. As it is, our government's already getting sued. Our government's already getting sued. Big time. Big time. President Trump has sued our government. President Trump has sued individual people. President Trump has sued ABC News and won. ABC News is having to pay President Trump $15 million, which is going to go to his presidential library. ABC News decided that they were going to let big deal Clinton-loving newsman go and tell lies on the air. And now, what's happened? What's happened? ABC News got sued and Trump won. ABC News is paying for President Trump's presidential library now. What a joke. What a frickin' joke that is. Also, down here in Australia, right in here, there was a 2.7 earthquake down here in southeastern Australia. USGS is not showing that either. They've taken it down. They've taken it down. The sad thing is this. Let me bring up the webcam. I want you to see this. Earlier today, the EMSC was showing the earthquake in Australia. EMSC is even taking it down. EMSC is also not showing any aftershocks over there in Vanuatu. Unreal. They are, however, showing earthquakes over here in New Zealand. Look at all these earthquakes in New Zealand. Now, to the north, This is the only bigger earthquake here. This is a 4.27 earthquake here near the Kermadec Islands, just south of the Kermadec Islands. All the rest of these earthquakes here in New Zealand are 3.2, 2.5, 2.7, 3.5, and such like that. Okay? All these earthquakes here are good-sized earthquakes, but they're not large. The largest earthquake is a 4.27 just south of the Kermadec Islands. One other earthquake I want to show you. Okay? This is a 2.38 earthquake. This lake is called Topo Lake. Guess what Topo Lake is? Topo Lake is a volcano. Topo Lake is Topo volcano. It's a super volcano. This lake is a super volcano over New Zealand, and there is a 2.38 earthquake here. A 2.38 earthquake here at the volcano. I always want to make sure I show you that because one day that volcano is going to go up. Okay? The bad thing is, let me zoom in here and show you this. There's a complete city over here on the northeast side of Topo Lake. Right beside Topo Volcano. A huge city there. Okay? Off to the west side, guess what they have? More people living out here. More people working out here. What do those dots here represent? Oil and gas. Oil and gas exploration here in New Zealand. Okay? Just off to the east of Topo Lake. Interesting, huh? And then various other places around Topo Lake. There's people living here, and there's people working on the oil and gas rigs here around Topo Lake in New Zealand. Plenty of people live here. Plenty of people live here. This is over on the southern side of Topo Lake here. A good-sized city again. That volcano is going to explode. Again, it's a super volcano. A super volcano, guys. Yes, I get a little bit animated. There's a reason. I'm trying to protect life. I'm trying to protect life. Now, while the USGS is not showing any earthquakes here in Indonesia, the EMSC is. Down here in the Molucca Sea, this is a 3.4 earthquake in northern Indonesia. 3.40 earthquake here in Indonesia, northern Indonesia. Let's go down to Sumatra. This is Sumatra in southwestern New Zealand. Jambi, Sumatra is a 3.8 earthquake here. Okay? USGS can't hide everything. They can't. They shouldn't. Now, I want to go further north over the Philippines. The southern side of Luzon, Philippines here. This is a 4.7 magnitude earthquake. 4.7 magnitude earthquake. That's a big deal. It's a moderate earthquake, but those people had shaking here. Those people felt the earth shake here. Okay? Right here. Yes, it was just barely offshore, but the people living in this area felt shaking here. Okay? One other place over on the north side, over here, and this is offshore. This is a 4.7 earthquake here. This is a 4.7 earthquake here, offshore. I do not think anybody felt this earthquake. It's possible, but I doubt it. It's far enough offshore. Now, nobody is showing earthquakes over in Japan. Well, I'm sorry, I am mistaken about that. Over on the southwestern side of Japan, okay? I'm going to zoom in here to show you this, and I'm going to show you my device here. This is near Yasugi, Shimane, Japan. Okay? This is a 3.81 earthquake. 3.81 small earthquake over here in southwestern Japan, over on Kyushu. Okay? It's just a small earthquake. Yes, people felt it. People felt the ground move beneath their feet. 2 other earthquakes over here in the Kuril Islands, north of Hokkaido, Japan, south of Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia. The Kuril Islands are owned and operated by Russia. Nobody lives here. This is a 4.6 earthquake here. 4.6 earthquake here. This is a different story. This is a 4.4. Okay? Nobody lives in this area. These earthquakes did not generate any seismic energy around any populated area. Okay? Out in the Pacific Ocean out here. Okay? The only earthquake we've had over here in the Aleutian Islands here near Adak, Alaska, is what they call a 0.5 microquake. In this case, they say it's a minus 0.5. I take umbrage with that. Minus numbers are supposed to indicate above sea level. Look where this earthquake is. Again, the United States Geological Survey is lying through their teeth. This is not above sea level. It's under the ocean out here in the Baltic Sea. Incredible what they try to get away with. Let's go over here to the west here. Okay? This is 88 kilometers west of Adak. But this is right next to a volcano. This is a 0.5. It's a microquake. But it's not above sea level. Okay? And they're not saying it's above sea level like they did the other one. What a joke. What a complete joke the USGS is. It's unreal what they try to get away with. Now, let's go over here to Europe. They're showing one earthquake here. Northern India. A 4.4 earthquake here. Let me take down my webcam so you can see the entire process here. A 4.4 earthquake here. Let's continue going further to the east, or to the west, I mean. They're not showing one flippin' earthquake here. They're not showing one flippin' earthquake here. What a joke. What a joke this is. Let me take down the USGS map here. It's worthless. At this point in time, it's completely worthless. Let me show you what's actually going on. Okay? Okay? This is Luzon, Philippines. USGS said there was 2 earthquakes there. Guess what? There's numerous earthquakes there in Luzon, Philippines. 2 on the southern side of the Philippines, Luzon, Philippines, and all the others here. Okay? The 3.6 we told you about. And then we come up just north of there, actually north and west of there, Mindoro, Philippines. This is a 3.8. 3.8 there. Then over here on the east side of Luzon, near General Notkar, is a 3.0. General Notkar, Luzon, Philippines, a 3.0. Then to the north, off the coast here, USGS said there was 1 earthquake there. Guess what? Multiple earthquakes there. Okay? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 earthquakes there. This is the 3.9. Now, nobody felt these earthquakes because they were off in the ocean here. Okay? 3.9, 3.6, 4.0, 4.0, 3.9, 3.3, 4.5. These are moderate earthquakes, guys. Moderate earthquakes. 4s, 4.0, 4.9 are moderate earthquakes. Okay? Then just north of there is a 3.3. Just to give you an idea of what's actually going on there. Okay? Now let's go westbound. Okay? Tibet, China. 4.4 earthquake. Tibet, China. Right there. 4.4. To the west of there, we have a 4.0, 4.3, and a 3.7. 4.0 to the south, 4.37 to the east there, and then this 3.7 right there. Okay? Then we go over to the Caspian Sea. Here's a 3.0 small quake there in the Caspian Sea. Okay? Then we go over and follow the craton. We follow the craton edge. We come over the Turkey-Syria border region. USGS is not showing anything. We showed you that. Look at all these earthquakes here. These are a result of a 8 or 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that happened in this region a year and 3 quarters ago. February 3rd, 2023. 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that happened here, and we're still having aftershocks. Incredible how that happens. Northern Turkey. Up here we have a bunch of 1s. This is a 1.0 here. And to the north there's a 1.56. A bunch of 1s here. We go further to the west, again, a bunch of 1s. This, for example, this is a 1.4. Let's go over to west central Turkey to give you an idea. This is 0.8 microquake. 0.8 microquake. Next to it, a 1.1. Next to that is a 1.5. Burdur, Turkey, 1.5 tremor there. Okay, let's go further to the west. 2.4, this is Denizli, Turkey. 2.4 here. 2.4, 1.5 to the north, and a 1.4. Okay? Let's go off to the far western side of Turkey. These belong to Greece. Okay? These islands just off the coast of Turkey belong to Greece. These are called the Dokanese Islands here. The Dokanese Islands here. Okay? 1.6 and 1.7 there. 1.6 and 1.7. Now to the north, belonging to Turkey, 1.3, 1.2, and a 1.5, belonging also to the Dokanese Islands. Okay? Over to the north and west, 1.3 in Greece. 1.3 there, let's go to the south. 1.2, 1.6. Northeastern Greece. And as you can see, there are a lot of earthquakes in Greece. A bunch of earthquakes in Greece. And even north of Crete here. North of Crete, we have 3 earthquakes here. Just barely north of Crete, a 2.2, a 2.4, and further north, a 2.3. Okay? Then I want to go over to Italy. I want to talk about Italy. Sicily, a 1.2 tremor. North of there, this is 1.3 tremor. Just to north of there, over in southern Italy, another 1.3 here. Then to the north there on the northern shore of Italy, Apula, Italy, 1.6 and 1.7. 1.6 and 1.7 over here on the north shore of Italy. We go further north. Now we're talking about central Italy here. We're still seeing large swarms of earthquakes. There's 20 plus earthquakes here in central Italy. All of these earthquakes are 1.2 to 1.9 tremors. 1.2 to 1.9 tremors here in central Italy. To the north, in the southern Alps of Slovenia, 0.8 microquake. To the west, Veneto, Italy, 1.7 here in the southern Alps. Okay? Then we go over to the northern Alps over in Switzerland. This is a 1.2. Over here in western Italy, in the southern Alps of Italy, a 1.2 tremor here as well. Well, let's go over here to France, Switzerland area. This is the 1.4 in Switzerland. Okay? Let's go over to France now. The Alps-Rhone border area, the Rhone River border area of France. 2.2 earthquake. 2.2 minor earthquake there in the Rhone River area of France. Just south of there, also another 2.0. South of there, this is a 2.3 earthquake here. Okay, that 2.3 just happens to be where? On the edge of the craton, the edge of the plate here. Then we go over to the north shore of England. North shore of England. Now I'm talking about just next to the English Channel. This is a 2.6 earthquake here. This is in France, but it's right along the very north side of France on the seashore next to the English Channel. Now you don't see anything here in England. There are not any recordable earthquakes here in England yet today. Okay? Not at all. But let's go south of Iceland. South of Iceland. We have two earthquakes here. Okay? 3.1 and a 2.0. 3.1 and 2.0 south of the Reykjanes Peninsula. And yes, we're still getting earthquakes and volcanic eruption over in the Reykjanes Peninsula. Okay? Then further north here, this is Borgarnes, Iceland. Borgarnes, Iceland. This is a 3.3 earthquake here. There's a 3.3 earthquake right there. That's Iceland. We go south. This again is on the Mid-Atlantic Fault. Mid-Atlantic Fault. This is a 4.6 earthquake. The Mid-Atlantic Fault is expanding. It's pushing Europe and Africa in an easterly direction. It's a 4.6 earthquake here. And south of there, this is a 2.0 magnitude earthquake here along the Mid-Atlantic Fault again here. Okay? Now, I want to go over to the Canary Islands real quick. This is El Paso, Canary Islands. Remember when we had a volcano going over here? Guess what? we have an earthquake. Now this is a tremor. This is a tremor just south of the volcano. This is a 1.5 tremor south of the volcano, in the very area that last erupted. This is in the very area that last erupted here. A 1.5 tremor over here in the Canary Islands. Now, South America. Just really quick. Look at all the earthquakes in South America. There's 2s, there's 3s, there are 4.0, 4.9 earthquakes here in South America. Along the Chile-Argentine border, on the ocean side of Chile as well, and upwards over here in Colombia here. Over here in Colombia right there. Okay? Then, over here in Central America. 10 plus earthquakes here in Central America. Most of these in Costa Rica, Nicaragua. Costa Rica, Nicaragua here. Central America. Now they're not showing and I can't believe this, they're not showing hardly anything going on here in southern Mexico, but there are. Most of you that pay attention to these earthquakes here know that we're getting earthquakes here in southern Mexico. But they're not pointing out anything there. Really nothing. Nothing. Look what's going on in Southern California. Southern California, guys, is moving. You need to be aware of that. Southern California is moving. Now I want to go up to Utah. Earlier today we had 10 earthquakes here. This is Kenilworth, Utah. Okay? Helper, Utah. Okay? Right in this area, guys, we have a lot of ore mining going on. Iron ore mining, underground mining. This is why we have earthquakes here. We've had a 1.7, 1.8, 1.5, 1.2, and a 2.0 earthquake here. Okay? This is underground mining going down here near Helper, Utah. Okay? That's why these earthquakes hit there. I wanted to make sure everybody realized what was going on in Utah, because there was a lot of earthquakes. One other earthquake over in Utah that's actually a microquake is going on near Milford, Utah, south or west central Utah. 3 earthquakes here, 0.73 tremors here. This is also home to the Black Mountain volcano here. The Black Mountain volcano here in Utah. Okay? 0.7, 1.4, and 0.73. 1.47, the others were microquakes. Okay? Milford, Utah. Now, while we're here in Milford, Utah, guess what's there? Oil and gas operations here. Oil and gas operations here. Look at all those wastewater treatment areas. These holding ponds to pump oil and gas out of the strata here in the earth. Okay? That's what's really going on here. Okay? Now, I have some place to go. But before I leave, offshore Northern California, look what else is going on. It's still moving. It's still moving. Again, we had a 7.2, 7.4 earthquake here a week and a half ago. That's why we still have movement here. That's why we're having movement here. This earthquake right here is the largest of all those earthquakes. This is a 4.1 earthquake here. That's a 4.1 earthquake here. Now, do you guys have any questions for me? I've got a meeting I need to go to in another 6 minutes here. Any questions? Aubrey's asking, how does the salt terrain affect earthquakes in Utah, Ron? The salt terrain has no effect over near the Black Rock Desert volcano. It has no effect over in the iron ore section where we were having these earthquakes today. Over in the area of Salt Lake City area. Yes, that area is a salt lake, a great big huge salt lake, but it has very little to do with the earthquakes. That's a great question, but it doesn't have much to do with the earthquakes at all. Yes, over there around the Great Salt Lake and south of there is what they call the Bonneville Lake. It was a huge lake back in the day, and I'm talking hundreds of years ago, literally hundreds of years ago, 500-600 years ago. There was a great big huge lake stretching from the Idaho border south into even California. The Bonneville Lake. It was covered by water. Okay? It was covered by water up to the side of the Rocky Mountains there. I shouldn't say the Rocky Mountains, the Wasatch Mountains. Okay? Huge, huge lake. Huge lake. After that dried out, salt moved in there. As that water dried out, there's salt there. And that's why we have the Great Salt Lake today. Juby Joe just gave us a $20 super chat. Thanks, Juby Joe, for that. We appreciate it a lot. $20 super chat, I just gave you an EMA sticker for that. I'm also giving you a thumbs up for that, Juby Joe. God bless you for that. That helps keep this program on the air. We appreciate that. Charlene is saying Wasatch Mountain is an active volcano radiating. Yes, there is an active volcano over there. Actually, an inactive volcano over there in Wasatch Mountains. We used to look up at that every day after we walked out of our house when we lived over there in Santa, Utah. Okay? Yes, Wasatch Mountains has some volcanoes, but they're allegedly dormant volcanoes. Dormant volcanoes. Bailey's saying Popocatépetl in Mexico is active. Yes, it is. Should you be concerned about Popocatépetl? No. If you live down there on the U.S.-Mexican border, you have no reason to be concerned about Popocatépetl. That is down in southeastern Mexico, southeast of Mexico City. Okay? Charlene saying Salt Lake City could rock. Yes, it could. The Wasatch Fault there at the base of the mountains there at the Wasatch Mountains could have a 6.5 to 7.5 earthquake. There are seven segments of the Wasatch Fault. One section of the fault could go off, causing upwards of a 7.5 earthquake, or all sections. All 7 sections could go off at the same time. Fact. Now, Demon Catman just put up a chat here saying, Ron loves cards and letters. I sure do. Or even parcels, packages. Carol and I did not get to the post office today, but we probably will tomorrow and or Friday. If you have sent me a package or a letter or a card, please let us know so we can go to the post office and pick it up before Christmas. Okay? Now, this is a notification to all of you. 7 days to Christmas. 7 days to Christmas. Juby Joe says she prefers PayPal for Ron and Carol. We appreciate that so much too. We appreciate PayPal donations as well. Down below this chat here in the top of our program description, you can find our email address. You can find our address that you see scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now. You can also see our PayPal and our Venmo addresses where you can send us donations. Our local address here is 10104 North Green Street, Box 105. Morganton, North Carolina. Zip code here is 28655. You can always slip a check or money inside of a card or a letter. We appreciate that so much. A lot of people have done that. We love and appreciate each of you. We really do. It means a lot to us. Now, my buddy Demon Catman lives in England. I greatly appreciate Demon Catman's help here on our chat, and I love him as a person. He's a great man. He's a great man of God as well. I love and appreciate him so much for his help here, and also as one of my dear friends here. I appreciate all of our mods here. Demon Catman says, can a mod please put in a pay app link? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I appreciate that, Demon Catman. Thanks, Dean. God bless you for that. Juby Joe says, if I ever send you something in the mail, it will be a miracle. Sorry, I got this stupid allergies going on. Anyway, guys, I've got to get going to my meeting. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here today in our chat. God bless you. God bless you for watching this channel. Please, folks, please share this channel out to everybody you know. Everybody. Send this chat out to your family, your extended family, your friends, your neighbors, your social media contacts, and even the people you work with. Share this channel out. We need to grow this channel so we can reach out to more and more people. More and more people need the protection of what we have to say here. We give information about disasters, earthquakes, and we give information about how to protect yourself in the event of a disaster. Emergency preparedness information. God bless you all. We appreciate all of you being here. God bless you. Please, folks, like I say, share this chat out, or share this program out, and also please donate to our funds here so we can keep this program on the air. YouTube would like to take us down. They would. But as long as you guys continue to keep us here, we're going to stay here. Thank you all for what you do. We appreciate and love you very much. God be with you until we meet again. We will see you on the other side tomorrow. Same time, same station. Today we came on the air a little bit earlier because we had this meeting we got to go to. Carol's in the other room biting her fingernails off, wondering where the heck I am. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Love you very much. See you on the other side. Good night, everybody. Much love.